there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with the Grixis Waste Not, I guess, deck is what we're going to call this, around Cedrex's Spectre. This card right here I just think is so powerful not to try it out in Modern with kind of a Waste Not Burning Inquiry shell. So I have a video before this explaining that I just wanted to have like a little brewing session. These are going to be sessions we're going to do every Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, and then I'll convert the videos over to YouTube after we're done with it, or even just play a full nother YouTube series on it for the YouTube fans, and that way we can get Twitch and YouTube kind of streamlined together. But anyway, this is an idea I've been having for quite a while. I've been obsessed with Unearth because I did not play during the Shards of Alara block, and I just think Unearth is so good in Modern. Yes, we get kind of shut down by Rest in Peace, but this deck can attack on different angles besides just the Unearth. So at the first I had a lot of cards like Hellspark Elemental that utilizes Unearth. That's still another idea that I have in the future, is using actual Burning Inquiry Dark Deal with cards like either Return to the Ranks and Blood Artist. So kind of the Aristocrats type shell where you're going to be sacking a lot of things and doing a lot of damage through like Spark Elemental, Hellspark Elemental, Vexing Devil. I mean, they have to take that initial damage, and then having the Blood Artist be the last bit of damage that they do. And then I'm actually thinking about putting like, that's going to be a Mardu shell rather than a Grixis shell, because then you get access to Lingering Souls and Return the Ranks, and that's the route we're going to go with that. But for this route, it's definitely going to be an Unearth discard strategy, and you have the Cedrexis Spectre really leading the charge, as it cures pretty nicely with a Waste Not. Turn 3, you can put this out after Waste Not. I don't know how well Waste Nots and Liliana's Cresses are going to be in here. They're so good off like a Burning Inquiry. I've been able to hit Waste Not, Burning Inquiry into Dark Deal, and sometimes that can do a ton of zombies or ton of card draw. This deck has a lot of card draw in it. So anyway, just go down the list. We're playing 18 lands. This is more of a Delver shell. So I kind of stole a lot of the Delver shell and then just fudged in a few other of the Unearth cards and then called it good. So we have kind of the Delver shell of Tasigur, Angler, and Snapcaster Mage. And then no Young Pyromancers. We're going to use Grave Crawlers instead of Delver Secrets, and the Specters are going to be kind of the Young Pyromancer slot here. So about the same amount of creatures that Delver uses. Going to have cards like Kolaghan's Command. This card is amazing with Waste Not, as it's instant speed discard, and you can also return a creature from your graveyard to your hand, which a lot of times is Snapcaster Mage. It can be an Angler that you threw away that you can get back and then put into play for quite inexpensive because you have so many cards in your graveyard, or a Tasigur for the same reason. Then we have a Singleton Mana Leak and a Singleton Scout Counter Squat and a Singleton Izzet Charm. So we have Izzet Charm kind of works two ways. It gets more stuff in the graveyard that you don't necessarily need at the moment, or does 2 damage to a creature, or counters a non-creature spell. We have a Call of the Netherworld, because this is one of the ways we're just going to get back a Cedrexis Spectre and just hard cast it if we need to. Or it can get back the Tasigur or the Angler. And then just 2 Lightning Bolts. I've got 2 more in the sideboard. And so that's kind of our control shell. We have a lot of ways to get stuff in the graveyard with Thought Scour, with Whispering Madness, with Dark Deal, and with the Burning Inquiries, and then a 1 of Faithless Looting and a 1 of Desperate Ravings. So we're kind of all over the place. This is anything but a fine-tuned list. I'm going to have to play a ton of games. I'm hoping that you guys help me out here and play some of these, and then decide what needs to go and what needs to stay. I'm thinking Shambling Remains might be too weak, or Scourge Devil. What I'm hoping with Scourge Devil is to hit a huge Waste Not, and then Unearth a Scourge Devil, and they're actually 3/2 zombies, and that means you only need 7 of them rather than 10 of them to be lethal. I also thought about Empty the Pits in here as a possible another win condition, but it just doesn't seem feasible in Modern at the moment, even just because you have to put that triple black into the casting cost. We have in the sideboard 2 Vapor Snags. This is really in here for the twin matchup. Vapor Snag is also good against a number of decks where you can just return a problematic creature back and deal damage. I'm wondering why Delver hasn't picked up Counter Squall yet, because Counter Squall feels like Vapor Snag, as instead of Negate or even Mana Leak, Counter Squall. I know there is some creatures you do need to counter in the format right now, so Mana Leak might be better because it can just counter anything. But Counter Squall, you lose 2 life, and when you're nickeling diming is what I like to call it, with like Delver deck, the Tempo deck's doing 3 damage here, 2 damage here, 1 damage here. Counter Squall counters Expel and counts as another 2 life. So not a bad card whatsoever. One of Dispel as just, again, I took a lot of the Delver sideboard here. We have a Terminate and a Murderous Cut we can bring in against problematic creature-based decks. Another Counter Squall. I want to try out a Grave Scrabbler, as its madness is you can return a creature card from your graveyard to your owner's hand, and madness should be quite easy to get off with like Faithless Looting or Burning Inquiry. We have a Big Game Hunter. It's another card I want to try. If they're running like Siege Rhinos or Goyf, I might bring in a Big Game Hunter, and we can destroy a creature with power 4 or greater with the Madness, which I don't know if is going to be good or not. Again, it's great with like Faithless Looting and Dark Deal, etc., etc. So Rotting Rats will come in too if we're going against any combo deck to try to make them discard a card, just card advantage here, as we'll be getting rid of a junk card. Plus, you can just unearth this back from your hand. It might not be powerful enough. Another Call of the Netherworld in the sideboard. One more Electrolyze against any sort of token-based strategy or Soul Sisters, etc. I'm probably just dead to Soul Sisters, to be honest with you. But then we have a Fiery Temper, another Madness card I want to try out, and 2 Lightning Bolts. So against a slower deck, we might just bring these in and just go crazy. So that's kind of the overview of the deck right now. I don't know how well this is played. We're going to play some matchups here. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.